Let's talk about Hitler.
That'll make sense later.
I'm immaculately conceived.
I don't know what to do.
I swear I'm not stupid.
Take it or leave it. Sometimes you just want to leave it.
If I gotta borrow my mom's underwear, I'm borrowing her underwear.
You just, yeah.
Misa likes the Jar Jar Binks.
I'm not gonna edit it out.
Oh no.
I don't know. Like, I think it was pretty great. Just staying on the
Sucks to
planet.
suck.
Why are you saying it with a question mark?
Clap, bitch.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Action.
And we're live. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jessica.
This is Why Are You Yelling? Welcome back to another F1 race review. Today we are talking about round 21 of the 2025 Formula One season. And today specifically, we're talking about the MSC Cruises Grand Premio de São Paulo, aka the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Yippee!
I feel like I did okay on that one.
You did.
I'm trying so hard.
Interlagos.
Yeah, Interlagos.
Lagos. There's not an X another R there.
That's the like local name or common name for the track.
Yeah.
The official name, if you would like to know, is the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace.
There we go. You did wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
Great. Okay, so it was a sprint weekend, so we have 2 podiums to talk about real quick.
Yes.
The sprint podium, we had Lando Norris, Kimi Antonelli,
Hey.
and George Russell.
Look at them Mercedes boys.
Look at them. Look at them go.
Mm-hmm.
And then for our main race podium, we had Lando Norris,
Yeah.
Kimi Antonelli,
Again.
and Max Verstappen.
Do.
Beautiful.
I mean, we'll get into it
Mm.
and talk about just that beautiful drive for Max.
Honestly, it's too much. I love it.
It was too much to handle.
We were just like,
What is he doing?
I mean, it's like I was surprised yet not at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
I sort of expect it, but at the same time, I'm still shocked.
He has a thing about Brazil. He just like, for whatever reason, he comes alive.
That track just, So our constructor standings, we have some movings going on.
Okay.
Some movement. I couldn't think of the word I wanted to say. We have some move, something.
Some move.
Something has moved. So Ferrari has dropped down from 2nd to 4th in the constructor standings.
I'm so distraught.
Mercedes has moved to 2nd place, and Red Bull has moved to 3rd. That's
How?
actually nuts.
How? What?
That's Supermax.
I mean,
That's literally how. Insane.
You know what, Ferrari? Next year is our year. We're going to get him next year.
I actually just think we need to just take a breath. Don't jinx anything, because I wished. So it was my birthday last week, and there was a supermoon on my birthday. I wished for something very particular. I only got half of it, but that was cool. I wished for Lewis Hamilton to win Brazil.
That did not happen.
And I wished for Max Verstappen on the podium. That did. So you're welcome.
50% batting average on your super moon wish.
Yeah. That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But moving on. So in the driver standings, we have Oliver Bearman. He's went from 13th to 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And Liam Lawson went from 15th to 14th.
Okay.
That's all I saw.
Yeah.
If I missed something, just let me know.
Okay. I'm sure they will.
Oh, yes.
People love to let you know when you're wrong.
They do.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not embarrassed to be wrong, really.
No.
I don't know that I'm ever 100% confident in something
I am.
that I'm like, I don't say things. The only
yeah.
time I say it with my full body chest is when I'm like, I know, which I don't think is that often, because I'm like, at least with this like particular realm of talking about sports. Now our other stuff, that's a little more
opinionated.
Then yes.
And less factual.
But anyway, something I guess before we get into the fun facts, you had mentioned that we needed to say we had a driver signing
Yes, we
going
did.
into Brazil.
Yes.
And it
Franco
was...
Colapinto.
Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Whatever.
I messed it up.
Whatever.
I didn't know.
Okay.
Franco Colapinto.
Oh my God. Jack Doohan's like, what the...
Franco Colapinto has done absolutely nothing for Alpine this season, although you can make the argument it's not his fault. That car is a shitbox. But he signed for Alpine for next year for 2026.
I mean, I don't know. Pierre comes to Brazil and he's like, ayo.
Yeah.
That's just nuts. But yeah, so he'll be sticking around.
Mhm.
But yeah, now it's What is
Time
it?
for our fun facts.
Yay.
My favorite segment,
Yes.
as everyone knows.
It's all of our favorite segment because it keeps us in line.
Yes. Hold on. Why is this so small? Okay. I'm old and need this to be super big.
You go. You're just like this. You're reading it out here. You're like, oh, I didn't bring it out here, but Anna got me fun stuff for my birthday.
Mhm.
She got me a checkered cup. Like that one.
That matches mine.
Yes. And then she made me an awesome Lewis Hamilton keychain. I'll probably just take a picture and throw it up.
Okay.
And then she got me a cool Formula One car.
I did.
It's like vintage.
Mm-hmm.
And then Damon Hill's dad.
Graham Hill.
Thank you. His car.
It's
Hot
a little
Wheels.
Lego. Or not Lego. Jesus. It's a Hot Wheels.
Yes.
Got my toys mixed up. Sorry.
Oh my
Apologies.
Toys? Yeah, so that was fun.
Yes. It was an F1 themed
Yes.
gift basket.
And if you haven't noticed, we have put up more pictures.
Yeah. So take a look.
Yes, take a look
Throughout the
around.
episode, you can
Yes.
see some more fun stuff.
As we cut to different angles, you'll
Yeah.
see more.
Comment below what you notice on the walls that's new or different,
Yes.
or what your favorite thing is that we've added in.
Yes.
Okay, now we're actually going to get into the fun facts.
Now we will.
This was Lando Norris's second consecutive Grand Prix win from pole position. He has now matched McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri's 7 Grand Prix wins this season. Lando won the sprint and the Grand Prix on the weekend of McLaren CEO Zak Brown's 54th birthday.
Aw.
Happy birthday, Zak Brown.
Happy birthday.
Lando Norris's win was McLaren's first Interlagos race victory since 2012 with Jenson Button.
Wow.
This was the 7th consecutive Grand Prix to be won from pole position this season, one short of the record set in 1976.
Wow. So we'll see what happens in Vegas.
Okay, so consecutive. So there's never been more than 8 consecutive Grand Prix won from pole. So we could talk about Lando's drive, his whole weekend. Again, spectacular.
There's literally no notes. I mean, he's just, y'all can boo him all you want, honey. Honestly, you're fueling him because you can boo him and he's still taking that first place trophy home.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
I think he's really found his stride. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, and I think it's interesting that even when he wins by 10 seconds, he's still not fully satisfied because, they asked him, how satisfying was this weekend? And, how happy are you with the win? And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's good. And I'm going to go celebrate with the team. But then we're going to talk about why Max was so fast. And we were not that fast.
Because he's Max, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, Max was the fastest on the track. They even asked in the post-race interview, they asked Lando about it. And he basically said, if Max had qualified any higher than what he did, he would have won the race. And they followed up with, you really think that he would have gotten you? Like, you wouldn't have been able to maintain the lead? And he said, no, he would have gotten me.
Yeah.
I mean, Max was just like...
It is what it is.
Like laser beam focus.
To be honest, Max maybe could have won that race if he wouldn't have got that puncture on the hard that at the start of the race from him when Lewis and Colapinto had their little moment or whatever. And there was debris on the track. I'm pretty sure that's where Max got his puncture. So, I mean, if that wouldn't have happened, you never know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like because he had to pit super early on the hards.
Well, and even then, he pitted for his second, I think it was his second set of mediums. And they're around lap, I want to say he had maybe like 15 laps left or so. And he pitted for a second set of mediums. And I was openly critical watching the race. I was like, why are they doing that? The tires aren't that much older than I think it was Lando's. I was like, why are they pitting again? Surely he could make it. If anyone could make it stretch to the end, it would be him. But I guess, what do I know? I'm not a professional. But I was not the only one that noticed that because on the F1 TV broadcast, other people were asking the same question of like, surely he could have made them stretch to the end. And he was leading the race at that point when they called him into pit for the second set of mediums.
Yeah.
He could,
There's got to be a reason, though.
There has to be. But if those tires could have gone to the end, Max is the one to make him go to the end, and he will defend with his literal life. So I think, he could have won it if maybe one of the 2 pit stop situations. He had 3 pit stops.
Yeah.
If one of those hadn't happened, who knows?
Yeah.
Or if he would have qualified, earlier or further up, who knows?
Yeah.
What could have happened. Lando certainly thinks that Max would have won it if he had qualified any higher up than a pit lane start.
Yeah.
So.
I don't disagree with him. But, with Lando, I think that I like seeing the form. I like seeing him just get it done. And I don't know, everyone wants to be a hater. And I'm like, whatever.
One of the
super weird.
In the post-race press conference, one of the journalists asked Lando a question that I took issue with. They asked him basically, they're like, Lando, this race and in previous races, when you're asked, how confident are you heading into the next round or heading into the next race? How confident are you that, y'all can win it or with what McLaren's performance is going to be? And they're like, your response has been sort of like lackluster, like, oh, I don't know, or I don't think we'll be the strongest, or we may not be, because they specifically asked him earlier in this press conference about the next round, which is Las Vegas. And he's like, I don't expect us to be the best in the fastest car in Las Vegas because historically we haven't done very well there.
Yeah.
We were like probably the fourth best team there last year, toward the end of last year. And so the person was being critical. They're like, do you think that, having that mindset and speaking in that way, do you think that you need to basically have a shift in the way that you speak or think about, or like speak with more confidence or have more confidence in the team and what you can accomplish in order, like, basically they were talking about, I believe, like the championship mentality and having confidence that your team is going to win and that you can do it. And they're basically being critical of him, being like, are you really, it almost came across to me that they were being like, you're really going to sit there and say that you don't think the team is going to be the best next weekend when y'all have been the most dominant team the whole season. Like, you keep talking in this way of like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
We might not be the best. I don't, like, it sounds like they were framing it that way.
Well, yeah, because you know what they're mad about. They're mad because Lando gives them no headline to write about overconfident Lando Norris or Lando Norris says this. They can't twist what he's saying, and they hate it because he's not being that whole, like, you can be confident and not arrogant. And they want him to come across arrogant so they can write about him. And they previously did. Anytime he said anything slightly confident, they've twisted everything he says all the time. So he's like, I'm done. And that's what they're mad about. And to me, that's what that says more. Because they're like, because even the way that question is, how do you want him to reply? Like, what do you want him to say? Because everything is so framed to be able to write about it in an almost dramatic fashion, I guess.
Yeah. And his response to the question was basically like, I'm allowed to have, like, he thought it was a weird question. And he was like, I'm allowed to have my own opinion. And I'm allowed to voice that opinion.
Yeah.
I'm being honest when I say these things. It's not like, I'm downplaying it or being, deceitful in some ways. Like, I genuinely believe these things that I'm saying, and I'm allowed to have that opinion. I don't think that we'll be the best at Las Vegas next week.
They weren't on the podium in Vegas last year.
Yeah.
Neither of them.
And he's like, you can go look at the data and the history and the records. You can see it. So he's like, it's not that I'm not confident in what we can do. I'm just being truthful and honest, and it's my opinion, just like you're allowed to have your opinion.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to think whatever you want about what I'm saying and about my opinion.
Exactly.
And he's like, it's whatever we want. And so he's like, I don't think I have to change what I'm doing or the way that I'm thinking about things at all because, it just is what it is. And I was like, that was a good answer. I'm very impressed by how much he's matured in
100%.
the last year.
100%.
Because he was getting eaten alive in the press last year.
Sure.
Like you said, he couldn't say anything without it getting twisted or taken the wrong way or them turning it into this dramatic thing. And it seems like he's really gotten to this place where he's like, fuck all y'all.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I do not care what you say and you're being silly.
Well,
like,
yeah.
I'm not going to let it affect me.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think last season too, going from not knowing if you're going to be a championship contender to being one of the championship contenders against Max, and then probably emotionally finding, like, how do I balance that? Like, these are different questions. Like, I'm not used to being up here. And then you are kind of battling your friend, and that's kind of weird. And you're battling them in a way maybe you're not even used to battling, where, like, it's one thing to be friends with Max, it's another thing to drive against him. So then tripping up in interviews talking about that and just being frustrated and really not knowing how to, but not being media trained, really, because you were never media trained to be a champion yet. Like, that's
it's a different like echelon. It's a different type of way you have to approach doing things.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can take a note from Max in that Max says whatever he thinks, he says what he wants, and he doesn't say what he doesn't want.
Exactly.
You know, he gives them as much or as little as he wants to, and then he doesn't care what they have to say about it. He's like, I'm above all of that.
And then you have, because you have like Max's, the way he approaches it, and then you have Lewis, who, you know, another world champion who's like, maybe a little, like, might think of his responses a little bit more because, you know, he's been on the receiving end of like people twisting his words, which Max has as well, but like, I don't know that Max cares as much or has to care as much. At least like when, you know, when Lewis was coming up.
Well, and Lewis has always had a certain amount of pressure on him to represent himself as a certain way, being the only black driver in Formula One's history.
Yeah, so it's just a really different perspective. So it's just interesting to see how they all carry themselves, and you really don't know how you're going to do it till you're there. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's a weird... you know what? I'm glad you took issue with someone in the press finally, because I've been hating on some people. Because that doesn't sound like a question you have to ask.
No, they were basically being critical of the way that he's like expressing his opinion, or they're not even the way he's expressing it. They're just being critical of his opinion. And I'm like, you can't tell him that his opinion is wrong. It's his opinion. He's allowed to have it.
Opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a staunch defender of the press and media and journalists in general. Like, that's like, I'm holding it down for them in any, you know, most of the time. But I can also be critical of when they're asking dumb questions or questions that are just like, this has nothing to do with anything. And you're literally doing it just to get a clickbait headline.
And that's annoying.
Because no one else, there's no newsworthiness to that question.
No, literally, it's like, well, what's the article? What's the article about? Literally.
It's like you're not asking him anything about his like his mental approach to actually driving and doing his job. You're not asking him about the next race or this race. There's no technical questions about strategy or what was going through his mind during certain projects. Like, all of that has newsworthy value. Asking him, hey, do you think you need to be more confident in the way you're like, in the opinions you have about your team and your team's ability and your ability?
What?
Why? That makes no sense to me.
Lando
like, that has nothing to do with anything.
No, I don't know. That's...
yeah, I took real issue with that.
I don't like that.
Anything else about Lando?
No, I mean, he pretty much had a perfect weekend.
Okay.
Like, just no notes at all. I'm pulling for... I mean, obviously, of course, I want Max to win just because it's an amazing story.
I can't wait to see if Lando wins. I can't wait to see him be a little crybaby in the last race of the season.
I mean, that's amazing. It's phenomenal.
Like, I can't wait to see him because you know he's gonna lose his mind.
Of course, yeah. Like anybody.
He's like, I'm expecting sobs.
I would. I mean, I'm not. You know what? It's an emotional story.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, if you've been watching F1 for 5 minutes, think about this. Zak Brown has known Lando Norris forever. That, and then winning that together, that's phenomenal. That's storybook. Stop with the, it's just,
I can't wait to see Zak Brown start to cry. Like, I'm gonna cry talking about it. I'm like, why?
But of course, like, the story for Max, I would love that.
Oh yeah. But either way,
but at the same time, there is a part of me that's like, I would love to see Lando do it. And it's because he's been getting so much shit. It's crazy. Stop. This is enough. But anyway.
Kimi Antonelli's P2 for Mercedes was his career best Grand Prix result.
Go, Kimi!
I love that for him.
Me too.
That precious baby is just, I love his turnaround. He kind of had a good start to the season. He had a little rough patch, and Toto Wolff was all, that's unacceptable, Kimi. We got to do better. And Kimi's like, lo and behold, I have done better.
He said, okay. Let me tell you, Kimi went and visited Senna's grave. And then there was a picture of him, apparently. If this was AI, I don't think it was, but it could have been. And I didn't fact check it. But there was a picture, supposedly, that I saw where Kimi was, like, he visited Senna's grave. And then there was a picture of him, like, reading a book about Senna there. And I'm like, listen, the Holy Spirit took over. It took over Kimi.
It was posted by, hold on.
I'm like, was that real?
Autosport on Instagram said Kimi Antonelli was spotted reading a book about Ayrton Senna's life in the cemetery where he was laid to rest in São Paulo.
Well, that's what I saw. So you know what? Respect some legends and they overtake you.
Yes, their spirit, their Holy Spirit,
the Holy Spirit
enters
Senna.
you.
Yes. So
you were hoping that would happen for Lewis Hamilton, and it did not.
You know,
but Kimi, you know what? We'll let that. We'll
let it
accept that.
slide.
Yeah,
let it slide because he's a baby.
Yeah, and I mean,
he kind of favors him, even though
a little bit.
Even though Kimi's Italian, they still somewhat favor, or he favors.
I can see it when they like do like the flash from one face to the other. I can.
Some
see
people
it.
have done that with Franco Colapinto, and I'm like, Kimi looks more like Ayrton to me.
But yeah, Kimi got P2 in the Grand Prix and in the sprint race.
Yes.
Just like consistent this weekend, just on it. And the fact that he's beating his teammate, George Russell. I mean, and George hasn't been bad this weekend either. It's just Kimi's outperforming him. Interesting. Looks like, I mean, you know, Toto Wolff may know a little something, it looks like.
That was my first thought.
About spotting some talent. Like,
yes, when Kimi, like they're on the podium and we were watching, I was like, and at one point it cuts to Toto, I was like, damn. He knew.
You can spot it. Max Verstappen's P3 finish for Red Bull was only the 8th time a driver has finished on the podium from a pit lane start. And it was the first time since Hungary 2014, which was done by Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, I mean, we already talked a good bit about Max's just like storming the whole field. Like that, it was just like a master class in overtakes. And I don't know what they did to that Red Bull between his shit qualifying and, you know, overnight. And then for the race, they made some changes. And he was like, yep, this is the car I should have had yesterday.
What I want to know, they changed because they were talking about it. I think it was either in one of the pre or post shows. I'm getting them confused because there was like so many of them because we had a sprint race too. What I want to know is they were talking about how they changed the floor and Max was just like not loving it. And I guess they did it in Mexico and it just, you know, didn't really love it, whatever. Right. And so I'm wondering, is that something they can change after qualifying? Because he's starting from the pit lane anyway. So can you change parts? Because, I mean, I think he kind of he was just, unless, I don't know, but it was like a completely different car. Like it
was by far the fastest car on the grid. I mean, you could see his actual pace and the lap times he was putting in was so fast. And the fact that not only was he making up places, but at one point he got a puncture after he had already made up like 4 or 5 places, got a puncture, had to pit to change tires, dropped all the way to the bottom, and then had to make up those same places again, and he still did it. And at one point, he was leading the race. Like, just nuts. It's just crazy. I mean,
it's indisputable.
How can you hate on him at this point? I mean, you have to just be a hater.
Is anybody at this point a hater? I think I feel like so much of the hating came just from an extremely highly emotional, controversial thing in 2021.
That happened.
In the whole season, really, of them driving against each other, you know, was super, you know, contentious. But I think that Max has proven without a doubt, at this moment in time, right now, is the best in the world.
Yes.
He is, and maybe one of the best we've ever seen. Not taking away from anybody else, but like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the adaptability alone is what is so impressive. Like, that's where I'm like, God, man, like, that's not something everybody can do.
It's like he has, like, just this feel for cars. Like, he can just become one with the vehicle.
Yeah.
And is able to just know what to do and can feel it. Because so much of driving is done by feel. It's muscle memory. It's like you can hear or feel certain things about the car that like let you know what you need to do to handle it. And he's so in tune with whatever car. It might take him a second to get into the groove of it, but he's so in tune with whatever car he's driving that, I mean, it's like a superpower.
No, literally.
So, I mean, Super Max all the way.
Super Max Part 2.
Yeah.
Insane.
George Russell in P4 was beaten by Mercedes teammate Kimi Antonelli for the 2nd consecutive Grand Prix, having beaten him in every prior Grand Prix this year.
I mean, George still did fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he still did good.
It's only 2 Grand Prix. It's only 2 in a row. I mean, like this said, every other race this season, he's outperformed Kimi.
Yeah. I mean, the Holy Spirit took over Kimi. I don't know what to say.
The Holy Spirit that is Ayrton Senna.
Exactly.
Oscar Piastri in P5 missed the podium for the 5th consecutive Grand Prix. He now trails teammate Lando Norris by 24 points in the Drivers' Championship, the largest margin of the season so far.
I mean, he still did good.
So, I mean, Super Max all the way.
Super Max Part 2. What's happened?
The yips. He's gotten the yips. Something happened I don't know if it was he had one bad result and then it just crashed his confidence. I don't know if he just and something with the yips, for those who don't know, it comes from like it happens to other athletes in other sports. So it's common in like baseball or golf, where an athlete can be doing really, really well in their performance, and then all of a sudden, for seemingly no explainable reason, they just start sucking, or they're not able to achieve the same level of performance that they previously were, and they don't know why. Like they don't, it's like something within their spirit is misaligned with their body or something, their mindset. Something is not lined up right, and they just can't explain why they're not able to perform the same. And this seems to me what's been happening with Oscar, and it's so sad.
It is. I mean, and then, for the sprint race, to be fair, he crashed out. It was wet. The track was wet, all that. It was him, then Hülkenberg, then Colapinto, literally all within seconds of each other.
Yes.
So, that we can contribute probably mostly just bad luck and the weather. It is what it is. Now, what happened in the Grand Prix? It seemed overambitious, but at the same time, I'm not a race car driver. And I take into account what race car drivers say. So like Joylan Palmer, the people that are actually like viewing it from that standpoint. And it's like he had to go for it. And then
so for context, so for those who don't know, or if you didn't see it, or just for reference, it was during one of the restarts for the race. It was after there had been a yellow flag, and I think it was a virtual safety car.
I think that's when Gabby got knocked out. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So there was a point at which they were restarting the race. They were doing a standing restart, what's it called, a rolling restart, and they hit the restart, and you've got basically 3 cars wide going into a corner. So we've got Kimi in the middle. We've got Oscar coming up the inside, and then Charles is on the outside. And so basically what happens...
And if you're not familiar, something else to take into account, this is turn 1. It's the Senna S's, and it's like...
It's a hard curve.
It's very elevated as well. So it's literally like an S.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. It's a very crazy corner.
And so basically what happens is they get all 3 wide going into the corner. Oscar was attempting to make the move. He realized he couldn't quite get there and realized that Kimi was eventually going to turn in on him. So he hits the brakes and tries to back out of it. His brakes lock up on him, so he doesn't quite get the stop he wanted to. And so when he does that, he taps Kimi. Kimi then slings into Charles, hits Charles's tire exactly perfectly to where that bitch punctures and completely gets knocked off.
Yeah.
The tire is gone, and then Charles is off. And then that was the end of the race for Charles Leclerc.
Yep.
And so taking all that into context for Oscar Piastri, like you were saying, to me, it looked like a racing incident. I feel like the drivers all behaved in ways you would expect them to in that scenario, because there's not really much Kimi could have done. He can't really go left or right. He's in the middle.
Was it Charles that basically said Kimi could have left room? I think
so.
But I don't know. Part of me is like it felt a little overambitious.
On whose part?
Oscar's. But at the same time,
but he also
recognized what you gotta do.
He did realize that, though. He realized he couldn't make it and tried to brake, and then brakes lock up sometimes. And you could make the argument, he wasn't in control of his car. And he did get a 10-second penalty because of that incident.
Which a lot of people felt was too harsh.
Yeah, but they deemed that he was at fault for causing a racing incident. Or deemed at fault for causing contact, I guess.
Yeah.
But some people, it is on a restart into a corner. The cars are all very close to each other. To me, it looked like a racing incident. I don't.
Yeah.
But it's all fine lines, and what do I know? I'm not a what do they call them? What are the
stewards?
Yes. I was like, they're not marshals.
Not the marshals. They're the ones that run on the road. Like you said, I'm obviously not a steward. It seemed overambitious, but at the same time, it's essentially it's the restart first turn. But, I don't know. I won't lie. In the moment, I was happy because I was angry that Charles was now out, because I already knew Lewis was going to be done. because by that point he had already had his contact, and I mean, they essentially was just waiting to get his penalty so he could serve it and park the fucking car.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get to that later. Maybe just skip the whole thing. But yeah, Oscar, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like a series of
unfortunate events.
Yes. Yeah.
He's just been very unlucky. Like how Carlos Sainz has been so unlucky this season. Like maybe now that luck has transferred over to Oscar, that bad luck.
Sometimes Carlos seems a little overambitious.
Are we sensing a theme?
You know what? Kimi said, y'all go, I'm not backing the frick out. You're not going to bully me.
Please stop it. You can't bully me. I'm not a baby.
That video of him running up to Max, like, after he's like, I did it.
Max is like, good job.
It's so cute. Anyway, sorry, Oscar.
Oliver Bearman, driving for Haas, took P6 for back-to-back top 6 finishes in Mexico City and Sao Paulo.
Let me tell you something about Ollie Bearman. He sees a gap, he goes for the gap.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, you're no longer a racing driver. But that was crazy. He had some of the most interesting overtakes where I was like, love.
Past 2 races, he has been on it.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressed with Oliver Bearman. I think he could be giving Isaac Hadjar a run for his money for Rookie of the Year.
That's all to come down on it now.
I think Rookie of the Year will probably come down to whoever finishes with the most points in the season.
I feel like consistency is key.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where I'm just kind of like, who has performed the best? Who has had like that?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see.
So Haas are now just 2 points behind 7th placed Aston Martin in the Constructors Championship. And this P6 finish is Haas's best ever Grand Prix finish at Interlagos.
I was very impressed with Ollie Bearman.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those moments where I'm like, oh, that's why.
That's why he got signed.
Because sometimes, you watch these races and you're like, why?
Why did they sign him?
Like, and then you see this and you're like, oh, because when it's hooked up, it's hooked up.
Yeah. When we were watching the race, we were talking about how, like, I think you might have mentioned this. Haas was the perfect sort of team for Ollie to go to.
Yeah.
Because they're not like the bottom of the teams. They're not like the worst team on the grid.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of a midfield team. And so that really gives a young driver, a rookie driver, the chance to learn and get experience without the pressure that like Kimi Antonelli might be facing driving for one of the big teams.
Like replacing Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have as much pressure. Mm-hmm. There's not as much expectation. You still have room to grow and make mistakes and be a rookie.
Yeah.
And I think that the adjustment has gone he's adjusted very well.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm excited for him.
Yeah. I'm like ready to see what the future holds for Oliver Bearman.
I'm ready for him to get his podium.
Yeah. 1,
it'll be historical for Haas. 2, we need to add him to our wall.
Yeah. Our rookie babies with their champagne.
Yeah. I need Alonso to get up there. You know, rookie, Franco,
Liam,
Gabrielle, Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the rest, all of them.
All of them but 2.
All of them but 2, actually. Hurry up.
Speaking of Liam Lawson, with P7 for Racing Bulls, Liam Lawson secured his 6th Grand Prix points finish of the season. Lawson completed the final 52 laps on medium tires.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Good for him.
See? Those mediums could have gone longer for Max.
That's assuming the setup's the same.
And assuming they weren't already used mediums, I guess. But still.
He was also 7th. Not
3rd.
Who was behind him?
Isaac.
Oh.
And Ollie was ahead, so
yeah.
All them rookies right next to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, good on Liam.
Yeah, good job. Good for him.
That's a solid points finish. 52 laps on medium tires.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah. And so with teammate Isaac Hadjar finishing in P8, Racing Bulls are now 10 points clear of Aston Martin in 6th in the team's championship.
Wow.
Yeah. Good on Racing Bulls.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
With Nico Hulkenberg and P9, Kick Sauber scored points in a Grand Prix for the 10th time this season. And this is the 21st race.
Go, Nico. Go.
I mean, I'll take the 10 points finishes so far this season in 21 races. That's almost a 50% score
I'll
points finish
take
rate.
it.
I'll take it because they were just doing really bad last year.
Yeah.
It was just
Not good.
Improvements, little improvements here and there.
That's why they need to keep Hülkenberg.
Yeah, and this was Hülkenberg's best Grand Prix finish at Interlagos since 2017.
Nico.
Pierre Gasly and P10 scored in both the sprint and the Grand Prix for Alpine, who are last in the team's championship.
What possessed him?
Yeah.
What the heck?
I mean, good for Pierre. He is, I think, one of the most underrated drivers
100%.
on the grid, solely because he drives for a not great team.
No, literally. It's horrible. He should be up there in the top 10, arguably in the top 5.
I would agree. He should be regularly scoring in the points.
100%.
I think he's on par with a Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah, I mean, I think he should be driving against George and Charles and that they all grow up together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it just sucks. That's one of the. I will say Drive to Survive did touch on that a little bit last season when Pierre was kind of I'm not driving against people I think I should be. Yeah. And I agree. Mm-hmm. But he killed it. And that was crazy. I was just whoa.
It's okay, he got still a little something up his sleeve.
This track, though, I guess he's just speaks to him.
I feel this track is either one that drivers really shine at and can show what they can do, and it's a technically challenging track, or it just bites them in the ass, and it's just so difficult to drive.
It is literally an old school track. Mm-hmm. It is I love it.
And I know part of what makes it so hard to drive is the weather, because they kept talking about in I think it was qualifying and in the sprint that the track was greasy because of it was a little bit of rain and then it had stopped raining, and then so you've got some oil slicks and different parts of the track are just.
Every time I'm let me go watch an old race and I click Brazil, you just never know. You just literally never know, because that used to be the season ender was Brazil, and so it was always dramatic for everything I've watched so far, and I'm good Lord.
Now to the part we have been dreading talking about. Lewis Hamilton's DNF for Ferrari was his first retirement at Interlagos since 2012, which was his last race for McLaren. Teammate Charles Leclerc's retirement was his second DNF in the last 7 Grand Prix. The other was in the Netherlands. Ferrari suffered a third pointless Grand Prix of the season, their most since 2020.
Let me tell you something. That sucked.
Yeah.
That's just not good at all. There's really nothing to add. Charles got taken out by Kimi. I mean, just happened. Second time. Same. Last time Charles DNF'd was also because of Kimi. Did Kimi even retire that race either?
I don't remember.
And then Lewis, I don't know why that even happened with Colapinto. He clipped the back end of Colapinto, and
that was totally his fault.
That was 100% his fault.
He was trying to say, I think over the radio or something, that there was something wrong with the car before that's why that happened.
I don't know. Maybe he just judged something weird. I have no idea.
But I'm just Lewis, that's
such a weird mistake to make.
Yeah, he just got too close to him and just touched the
I don't know.
The wheel, and his nose was gone. His floor got a bunch of damage. They were able to replace the front wing on a pit stop, but the floor damage is just what ultimately did him in. And they kept him out on the track. And I was even retire the car. What are we doing? We're just doing more damage to the car. There's no way he's going to be able to compete to even get a point. So there's really no point in continuing on. But then we realized, they're waiting for the stewards to do the investigation into him hitting Colapinto because there's probably going to be, and there was, a penalty.
Yep.
And so they were keeping him on the track until they got the penalty so they could serve the time. And then they could retire the car.
Yeah, they had to pull him in there, serve it, change the tires, send him back out for a lap or two, and then they retired. Which makes sense because we were what are you doing?
And then because if they would have retired the car before serving the penalty, I believe it carries over to the next race, or it's a more severe penalty.
I think it carries over.
Yeah,
to some sort of grid penalty.
It carries over in some aspect to the next race, so they'll be penalized at the next race, and so they're no, we're gonna serve this here.
Yeah.
Which then in hindsight made total sense.
That makes total sense, yeah.
But we were why is he still on the track? and we're like, oh, so yeah, we don't always know 100% what we're talking about.
Definitely. Yeah, that was extremely disappointing. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Yeah, that's pretty much, I don't even have words for it. Lewis Hamilton extends his blah, blah, blah thing for not getting a podium for Ferrari. Okay, we got it.
Speaking of DNFs.
Oh, that was sad.
Yeah, Kick Sauber's Gabriel Bortoleto crashed out in both the sprint and the Grand Prix of his home event. He is Brazilian.
Yeah.
This was his first Grand Prix DNF since Silverstone.
First of all, that sprint crash was so scary.
Terrifying.
Like, what the heck?
His car it looked like a ghost yanked the wheel or something. It just yanked and came out from under him. It hit one wall and then sent him flying across the track. And he was completely all four wheels airborne.
But see, that goes to show that elevation though, because that's how steep that is in order to hit one wall and then to not even be touching the track anymore. It was crazy.
He hit one wall and was flying downhill, hit the other wall, and then scraped along it. And he walked away fine from what we know.
That was crazy.
The fact that he wasn't even reported to have a concussion is crazy because of how fast he was going. My mom saw a photo of a still photo from the crash and sent it to me. And she's like, holy moly.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that was terrifying.
Yeah. I have a friend who's Brazilian, Vicky. You're friends with her too. So I was talking to her and she was watching a little bit and she's like, Gabby's crash was so scary. And I'm like, no, it was terrifying. It was super scary. And then the one in the Grand Prix was kind of just, I guess him and Stroll had a set. Wasn't it Stroll?
I don't remember.
Somebody.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
No.
I feel like Stroll hit somebody.
Yeah, I think so.
He definitely hit somebody.
I'm pretty sure it was Gabby. Anyway, so that sucked. That was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Felt bad, really sad for him.
Mm-hmm. And it was such an emotional home weekend because especially the fans in Brazil are so intense.
They are literally the only other people that are it's Italians are yeah, but Brazilians, man, they have the most iconic. I would argue one of the most iconic drivers of all time comes from them. Comes from Brazil. Hence, literally. So it's just when they race there, that place comes alive like nothing else. And I just love it. And then during the driver's parade, I don't know if you saw, they had these little cars that they were driving.
The little teeny tiny ones. But it's so funny because I only saw bits and pieces of it. And I see most of the drivers that are in the actual cockpit of the car have their knees to their chest because it's so small.
Yeah.
And then Yuki Tsunoda fits perfectly in it. And he's fine. He's I'll drive it.
Yeah. And Gabby was one of the only people that had his own. And so he got to drive around away with the crowd. So that was super.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see. But
yeah, that must have been a very emotional roller coaster of a weekend for him.
For sure.
To have all the pride and emotion of being there at your home race and all the support. And then to be so all the disappointment. Yeah.
I feel that would be a lot of pressure to be Brazilian, to be in Formula One, because there does come expectation.
Oh, yeah. You have a legacy behind you.
It's...
Yeah, the pressure of a whole country bearing down on you. It's not like you're, the UK, Great Britain has several drivers. Half the grid is freaking from the UK. So they have they distribute the pressure pretty evenly, but it's you're the only one.
Yeah. I mean, they've had Senna, Nelson Piquet's Brazilian, and he's a world champion. But and let's just be honest, not taking away from Nelson Piquet, but murals of Senna everywhere. That's what everyone is talking about all the time, but it's just crazy. So Gabby just, that's okay. There's next year. Yeah. It'll be all right. Yeah. There was a little bit of Ferrari drama after the race. Somebody just talking some smack. So there was, hold on, let me pull up the article. So Ferrari chairman John Elkann says the company's Formula One drivers, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, quote, need to focus on driving and talk less, end quote. His comments come on the back of the São Paulo Grand Prix, in which Ferrari suffered a double retirement, and Hamilton described his maiden season with the team as a, quote, nightmare. Yeah. He said, I think he literally said it's a nightmare I've been living a while or something along those lines. And, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he said that. Hold on. I was trying to see if they had the full quote.
Yeah, because there was some stuff where he talks about the pit crew, and
so Elkin, the Ferrari chairman, said, quote, "If we look at the season in F1, we can say we have mechanics who are winning the championship with the performances they're putting in, particularly with everything they are doing in our pit stops. If we look at our engineers, the car has undoubtedly improved. If we look at the rest, it's not up to standard. We have drivers who need to focus more and talk less because we still have important races to come, and finishing second in the constructors isn't impossible."
So both drivers have replied-ish. So I have Lewis's, you have Charles.
Mm-hmm.
So Lewis posted, this seems to be 2 hours ago from where I just pulled it up. And it's like a slideshow of some pictures. And he says, "Brazil, thank you for all of the love, always. In the end, it wasn't the race we wanted. It's gutting, especially after some good progress, but we will move on." But then he says this, quote, "I back my team. I back myself. I will not give up. Not now, not then, not ever."
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then Charles posted several photos, and he said, "A very difficult weekend in Sao Paulo. Disappointing to come back home with nearly no points at all for the team in what is a critical moment of the season to fight for the second place in the Constructors' Championship. It's uphill from now, and it's clear that only unity can help us turn that situation around in the last 3 races. We'll give it all as always."
Unity. I just wonder, like, when they saw that quote, how quickly they were FaceTiming or texting going, what?
They were hitting each other up.
They were like,
"Fred, what the
what is this?
What did he just say? What did this motherfucker just say?"
Now, I do think it is probably geared a little more towards Lewis.
Yeah.
Especially after Lewis said he's been living a nightmare the whole year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, in a way, I get it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, like, as a brand, you're like, shut up. But I'm also like, well, you signed Lewis Hamilton, who is outspoken, who is like a figurehead in this sport. And I'm sorry, he's a 7-time world champion between 2 teams, by the way. So I'm tired of hearing about, just Mercedes. Shut up. It wasn't just Mercedes. He's won championships across 2 teams. And if Lando does not win this, he's still the last driver who has won a championship at McLaren. So if somebody knows what it's going to take to win something, I think he would know. Mm-hmm. So if it just makes me feel like, yeah, I get the perspective of like, don't be so critical of the team. But I don't know that I would say Lewis was critical. He's just saying his experience right now is like not great because this is not what I expected when I was going to come here. And this has been like an uphill thing. And it's kind of been a nightmare, to be honest.
I mean, Charles has been openly critical of the team and some strategy choices and things going on. I mean, he's been openly critical of saying, like, I just don't understand it. We keep getting things wrong.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I think Charles has been media trained enough to always end on a positive note.
He's been Ferrari media trained enough.
Yeah. So he always is like, this basically was shit and we're performing like shit, but we're going to keep trying to improve. Yeah. We're going to take a look at things and try and figure out what went wrong. And as always, we keep trying. We go again.
Yeah.
So he always tries to end on a positive note, even when he's like,
yeah. Which, I mean, let me see what that quote was. I don't know how Lewis ended it because he does tend to end stuff with like, I just want to bring better results for the team, at the people at the factory. All right, hold on. Let me look this up. Okay. So Lewis said, quote, "It's a nightmare. I've been living it for a while. The flip between the dream of driving for this amazing team and then the nightmare of the results that we've had. We are just really having to fight through those hardships at the moment. This weekend has been disastrous and disappointing for everyone. I'm trying to keep my head above water and remain positive." So
he is literally, he's like, I want to die. He's miserable. Oh my gosh. That is like the most downtrodden. He's like, this is a literal nightmare.
Meanwhile, Kimmy's like, you should have stayed here. Like, And I'm before people come, I'm well aware there were other reasons he left. Don't even come at me. But yeah, so not great, but I don't know.
I think that we have drivers who should focus on driving and talking less. is akin to the, shut up and dribble. Like, we don't care what you have to say. Just do your job and play your sport.
Let me tell you, though,
that's the wrong thing to say.
It's the wrong thing to say, but also it's like Charles probably has Stockholm Syndrome at this point. Lewis doesn't.
Mm-mm.
And to be honest, Lewis has had an uphill battle his whole, especially at the start of his career. Don't talk so much. People not wanting his opinion. Even before F1, hearing the stories he talked about how people just, they didn't want to hear what he had to say. A lot of it because of his race. And it's just like constantly having to hear that. And then to actually be like, that would low key piss me off so bad to be where I am now in my career. And what did you just say to me?
Literally,
what did you just say to me?
I can imagine Lewis Hamilton being like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
No, literally. Like, that's insane. Like,
how dare you? The audacity.
No, literally, because I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm sure there are people that are like, yeah, you're right, so-and-so. Bye. You know what? Maybe if y'all listen, because apparently y'all don't listen. If you did, maybe you wouldn't be fourth in the constructors right now. So I don't see how at this point you have a driver like Charles Leclerc, who's obviously one of the best on the grid. You have one of the GOATs on your team now, and you still aren't getting the job done.
And you're still blaming the drivers.
So it's like, not to mention, you had Alonso, you had Vettel. They didn't win championships with you, but they won championships with other teams. So it's obviously you.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, well, are there any other stories you want to talk about?
Nope.
So now we will talk about our rookies and get into our rookie report. Kimi Antonelli, in the sprint, he qualified second. He finished second, so 7 points. In the Grand Prix, he qualified second, and he finished second. So 18 points for a total haul of 25 points.
Good job, Kimi.
Good job. So in the sprint, Kimi went wheel to wheel with Russell off the line and again at the restart, keeping both battles clean while still showing firmness. Once settled, he had the edge in pace and began reeling in Norris, but with the track still damp offline, a move for the lead never became realistic. He brought it home to P2, a composed and confident drive that helped push Mercedes into second in the standings. And in the Grand Prix, Mercedes split their tire strategies with Kimi starting on softs. He held P2 early, but at the safety car restart, he became the middle of a 3-wide squeeze that sent him into contact with both Piastri and Charles Leclerc. Despite the hit, the car remained strong and he delivered his best race yet, maintaining calm under heavy late pressure to finish P2 on merit. A mature, resilient drive that underlined his growing authority in wheel-to-wheel situations. I do agree with that. Yeah, because let's not forget, Max was chomping at the end.
Under pressure.
Like, dun, 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scary. Isaac Hadjar, in the sprint, he qualified 9th. He finished 10th, so no points. In the Grand Prix, he qualified 5th. He finished 8th, so 4 points, for a total points haul of 4 points.
Woo!
So we got points, we're happy.
Yep.
In the sprint, Hadjar's hopes were undone off the line when he didn't launch well, dropping him straight into the midfield traffic where it became difficult to recover. Even after the red flag and switching to mediums, he couldn't quite make progress and finished P10, just outside the points. In the Grand Prix, starting on the softs gave him a strong opening, but his race rhythm was interrupted when his second stop fed him back into traffic. He fought back through the field and closed right up to Lawson in the final laps, even taking a look into turn 1, but ran out of time to complete the move. He finished P8, a solid contribution to a double points result for the team. So he did good. I wouldn't say anonymous, but just not, he's in the points.
Yeah.
Nothing to be upset about.
Solid.
Mm-hmm. Franco Colapinto. In the sprint, he qualified 16th. He did not finish the sprint. He had a DNF, so 0 points. In the Grand Prix, he qualified 18th. He finished 15th, so 0 points. So for a total points haul of 0 points. So in the sprint, it ended almost immediately when he was a third car to catch a damp curb at turn 2. So again, like we said earlier, it was Piastri, then Hülkenberg, then Colapinto. They were all caught in the exact same area from a damp track, and then it was pretty much over from there. He hit the barrier. He was cleared after checks at the medical tent, and although the team impressively rebuilt the car in time for qualifying for the next day, the incident ended what could have been a promising run in tricky conditions. Because, when it rains, you never know.
Yep.
But womp womp. In the Grand Prix, he never really had the chance to develop after early contact with Hamilton that left him carrying damage and lacking confidence in the car's balance. He spent most of the afternoon managing tire wear and running in turbulent air, ultimately finishing P15, a weekend of effort and resilience rather than results, salvaged slightly by Gasly's points for the team. So yeah, he kind of didn't really have, I love Lewis, but he kind of ruined his chances probably from whatever damage he did. But yeah. Oliver Bearman, in the sprint, he qualified 15th and he finished 12th, so no points. In the Grand Prix, he qualified 8th and finished 6th, so 8 points for a total points haul of 8 points.
Woo.
Woohoo, Ollie! So in the sprint, it sort of unraveled right away when contact with Lawson sent him into a spin, and the stewards added a 5-second penalty on top of it. With the car lacking pace in traffic and Haas starting deep in the field, there was no chance to recover, leaving him P12. So I remember when that happened because Ollie goes, "Of course it's Lawson." And I'm like, ooh, he's getting a reputation. So in the Grand Prix, Bearman delivered one of the strongest midfield drives of the race, managing tires well and pulling off decisive overtakes, including a confident move on Hülkenberg to secure P6. It marked another race where Haas's pace looked genuinely competitive and Bearman converted it with maturity and control. So he just killed it. Super, super proud. Go, Ollie. And now, Gabriele Bortoleto. In the sprint, he qualified 14th. Why does it say finish? Oh, because he completed most of the race. Mm-hmm. He finished 18th, but he really didn't finish the race. He had a DNF, so 0. Because of his scary crash. In the Grand Prix, he didn't get to qualify because they couldn't get the car, in time in order to qualify. And he also has a DNF in the Grand Prix, so 0 points for a total points haul of 0. So, yeah. So Bortoletto's sprint ended in heavy fashion while trying to pull off a late race move. He got onto the damp part of the track, lost control, and hit the barriers hard before bouncing across into the opposite side of the track. He was thankfully unhurt, and the team rebuilt the car from scratch afterward, a massive effort on a tough day at his home race. In the Grand Prix, it was more heartbreak for Gabby. After gaining a position at the start, he made slight contact with Stroll while going for another move, which sent him into the barriers again out of the opening lap. It capped off a difficult weekend for both him and the crew, who worked tirelessly to get him back on track, a weekend to reset and move forward from. So, very unfortunate for Gabby. Mm-hmm. Liam Lawson. In the sprint, he qualified 17th and he finished 16th, so 0 points. In the Grand Prix, he qualified 7th. He finished 7th, so 6 points.
Yay.
Go, Liam, for a total points haul of 6 points. Mm-hmm. Woohoo! In the sprint, Liam had a pretty messy start. He and Oliver Bearman, they had a moment where both of them received 5-second penalties for basically causing a collision with one another. And then Liam had floor damage from there, and plus he had his penalty, and so he slipped down to P16 by the flag. So was kind of unremarkable and sure very frustrating. So that's all right because Liam bounced back and he had a pretty good Sunday. So he had one of the most disciplined drives of the day. He started on softs. He committed to a 1-stop and nursed his mediums for over 50 laps. And earlier you said it was 52 laps. Mm-hmm. And the tire management was calm and controlled, and he held off Hadjar in the closing laps to finish P7, leading the team home in a double points finish. Now, last but not least, our favorite rookie, Fernando Alonso. In the sprint, he qualified 5th. He finished 6th, so 3 points. Okay. In the Grand Prix, he qualified 11th. He finished 14th for 0 points. And for a total points haul of 3 points. Woohoo!
We'll take it.
Yay!
I feel like I say that all the time when I'm like, we'll take it.
Sure, it's something.
Okay.
So in this sprint, Alonso came out swinging. He fought Verstappen at the start and again on the restart, and then spent most of the sprint holding off both Ferraris with sharp defending and racecraft. He eventually slipped behind Charles late on after being asked to manage his engine, but still finished a strong P6 and scored solid points. And I do remember because that's where Pierre Gasly was behind, like a little ways back, and he goes, "Tell the Ferrari they gotta overtake Alonso. Come on." Which I thought was very funny.
He's like, "Get this Ferrari. Come on, Charles, get moving."
And then his engineer goes, "I'll be sure to tell him."
I'll let him know.
So in the Grand Prix, Aston Martin rolled the dice by starting him on the hards, and it simply did not work. It was simply not lovely. The tire never came into the right window, and the pace from Saturday disappeared. Alonso ran a 2-stop but couldn't recover track position, finishing P14 in a race where the car just didn't have the grip to fight. So, yeah, that's okay. At least we got some points. Now we can move on to our best and worst segment. So who's your driver of the day?
My driver of the day has to be Max Verstappen.
Obviously.
Max Verstappen. I mean, just pit lane to P3. At one point, he was leading the race. I mean, he was the fastest car by far on the grid. Just a masterclass in overtaking, and just like he just stormed the field. He was just like, he's like a laser focus, getting it done. So got to be Max Verstappen. Yeah.
My driver of the day is Kimi Antonelli because I'm just good for him. He had just an amazing weekend as a whole. And then, I think it would be very easy to make a mistake, to get overwhelmed the second you see Max Verstappen closing in on you. And, he stayed calm, controlled, and, he held him off till the end. So I'm very excited for Kimi. And so, yeah. Now, biggest letdown. I'm going to go first this time.
Okay.
My biggest letdown is Lewis Hamilton, which I know. The fact that I even said it. But it's because, come on.
What are we doing?
I mean,
running into the back of Colapinto.
Maybe there was some sort of thing going on with the car. I don't know that. But from the onboard, I mean, I literally had Lewis's onboard up while we were watching till, he pitted the car, basically. Yeah. And, I don't get it. I don't understand what happened, which makes me believe there is a part of me that's like, well, maybe, but at the end of the day, it just kind of seemed like
rookie mistake.
Very uncharacteristic of him for something like that to happen. So I just kind of let down. I wasted my beaver moon. The moon was a beaver moon, by the way. The super moon was called a beaver moon. And I wished for him to win, and I blew up my birthday candle. And then he DNF'd.
Bad luck. Don't ever wish for him again.
I wished for Max to be on the podium, and he did.
Maybe the universe with you and Lewis is not like...
It's starting to feel like we're not soulmates.
We're not linked
together. It's starting to feel like every time I want Max to do well, he's doing well. And I'm like, what are you saying? What are you saying to me?
I don't understand.
It's confusing. So anyway.
It's confusing, but also very clear. I'm so confused. And the universe is like, I don't know how to make it any clearer to you.
I'm so confused by the clear signs and communication that you're showing me.
My biggest letdown... Again, it feels like is Ferrari.
Almost like you're like, I was gonna say Lewis, but now I'll just say Ferrari as a whole.
No, it's Ferrari as a whole. I mean, and to be fair, Charles was not his fault. He just wrong place, wrong time. But just the comments from the Ferrari chairperson, and then Lewis having his issues, the double DNF for the third time this season, pointless for the third time. Or no, I don't know if it was a double DNF for the third time, but it was this is the second double DNF. Or is it the third?
No, not double DNF, but this is the third time they're pointless because they were disqualified in China.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. So the third time that they're pointless this season, I got no words for it. Very disappointed. And, being a Ferrari fan is a real struggle right now.
See, you know what it is? I think the universe is trying to show me something because I said it, I don't know, maybe last year when we were talking about who's your team. I'm like, I have always leaned towards Red Bull in the past, just that's kind of like where I was introduced in the first place. But I do love Lewis Hamilton.
The universe wants Red Bull to be your team.
I would argue they are my team, but I'm a Lewis Hamilton girly. I'm a Lewis Hamilton stan. Like, that's my number one, no matter what. But if you're asking me, like, once Lewis is not in the picture, it's Red Bull. Like, I love Red Bull. Like, they've had some of literally my favorite drivers besides Lewis. So it's just kind of like, anyway. So, as a Ferrari fan, or, liking a driver on Ferrari, it was a weekend to forget and to block out.
Mm-hmm. From our memory, forever.
Yeah. Trauma response. Just block it out.
Yep. Didn't even happen.
So we will get into our next race teaser, which is going to be round 22 at the Formula One Heineken Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's a street circuit. It's a Las Vegas street circuit. I don't think there's anything fancy name for it. So last year, our race Podium, which to be honest, when I was going through all this, didn't remember any of it. George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, and Carlos Sainz. And then I thought, is that right? But that's from the Formula One website. You are more than welcome to fact check me as I go through the rest, because I genuinely don't remember this.
I remember,
I should, because Lewis got a podium, but I don't remember.
I just remember, and I don't even know if this is from this year or the year. Is this the second year or the third? This is the third year they've done.
Third.
This is the third year they're doing it, right?
Yes. The first one was in 2023.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is from last year or the year before, but I just, only thing I remember from Las Vegas is the outfits. Like, they had the drivers put on like sparkly jackets and do some like promo stuff.
First year.
It was the first year. And also I think the first year was when they had the drain cover issue with Carlos Sainz and it fucked up his car.
Yep.
So, because basically, if you don't know, they thought they have to secure all the drain covers on the street circuit because of the grounding effect of the car. It basically will suck them up into the bottom of the car, and there was drain cover that was not secured properly, and it fucked up Carlos Sainz's. It fucked up Carlos Sainz's car.
Yeah.
Jesus, can I get that out?
No.
Apparently not.
Yeah, so
that's all I remember from Las Vegas, and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So apparently I don't remember last year either.
What I remember from Las Vegas was that's when Max was a crown champion.
Yeah, because they had his car come up out from it's a super elevated podium. It's like way up high, and then it comes out from like this cover, like under the stage or something.
Like Mexico? Mexico does that.
Is that Mexico?
Mexico does that because that's where yeah, pretty sure Mexico does that.
Did Las Vegas not do that?
I'm telling you, I don't remember anything about Las Vegas.
I could be confusing all of it.
It's literally like, all I remember from Las Vegas last year was that Max won the driver's championship and then he got super drunk. And I'm starting to think that affected me because I don't remember anything.
Oh, yeah, I do remember him getting a little happy, loosey-goosey with his interviews and stuff in the press.
And then, yeah, because Zak Brown, I do remember Zak Brown running up going, oh, yeah, you beat my Senna guy. And he goes, yeah, and I did it. And not the best car. Like you said, I was going to need. And he was just throwing them drinks back. But honestly, Lewis second, don't even remember. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. I love Lewis. And I'm like, I don't even remember you. I'm sorry. All right. So here are some track stats for Vegas. The first GP was in 2023. It has 50 laps. The circuit length is 6.201 kilometers, which is about 3.85 miles. The race distance is 309.958 kilometers, which is about 192.59 miles. The race lap record is held by Lando Norris, set in 2024 at 1 minute and 34.876 seconds. The qualifying lap record is held by George Russell, which was also set in 2024 at 1 minute and 32.312 seconds. And it has 2 DRS zones. So what is the track like? The Las Vegas street circuit is all about top speed and braking confidence. It has one of the longest full throttle sections of the season, running down the strip under cold night temperatures, which makes tire warm-up and grip extremely unpredictable. Drivers can run low downforce to maximize straight line speed, but that means the car can feel light and nervous through the slow corners. Expect lockups, slides, and big braking battles, especially into turn 14. So now I'm thinking back, I do, because we've said before, the Mercedes tends to perform in the cooler weather. We had both Mercedes drivers last season on the podium. Guess that tracks. So what are the tire compounds and the strategy? Again, I mean, this is only the third time Las Vegas has been on the calendar, so it's not like we have that much. We got 2 years we're working with here when it comes to establishing what some strategy might be. So Pirelli is bringing the C3, the C4, and the C5. The medium tends to be the main race tire so far that we've seen. The soft works for a good launch and early grip, but it can grain pretty fast. A one-stop is typical, but safety cars often shake things up. again, this is only this will be our third time here. So there's not that much like history to really pull from.
Not a ton of data.
No. Now, can we overtake here? Yes, mostly down the strip into turn 14 with DRS. It's all about braking stability and exit speed. If you lose momentum, you're vulnerable for the whole sector. So it's probably not going to be the easiest overtaking track. So I feel like we've been having a lot of issues with drivers getting their tire temps into the right window, and that seems that's what I anticipate. There's going to be a lot. It might be one of those scenarios where maybe you'll see teams that don't normally perform well, or maybe, Mercedes might shine here again and McLaren might not.
Yeah. I mean, Las Vegas is typically cold this time of year, especially after the sun goes down. So it isn't a desert, but
it's cold.
It gets, deserts are notoriously hot during the day and then freezing at night. So, and this is a night race. So I expect it to Mercedes to perform well. Like, they obviously George won last year. While you were reading some of that, I was trying to see if I could find the podium. They are on a very elevated platform, but I didn't see, maybe the drivers came from under the stage or something. I don't know. But while I was looking at that, I did remember the sphere.
Oh yeah,
the sphere. Because
right.
It has like they'll do on that side of the sphere in Las Vegas. They'll have different like animations and stuff. Sometimes it's the drivers like cheering for themselves as they're going past it on the track.
Cute. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little yellow like emoji face and like the eyeballs are watching the drivers. And
I'd be like, can you turn that shit off? I'm trying to drive.
I can imagine it being so distracting.
No, literally. I'd be like, turn it off.
But then also could be kind of fun because they have that long straight where you're just going straight. So
that's true.
The drivers can actually look at like the sphere or the screens or whatever they're passing and kind of see stuff going on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like trying to remember, like, what do I recall?
I know.
What do we recall from Las Vegas? Fucked up drain covers.
From 2 years ago.
And the sphere.
So that will be not this weekend, but next weekend. So we got a little bit of a break, but also something to look out for Vegas. Our girls are back, y'all. It is going to be the title fight will be ending here. We're going to see who gets it with F1 Academy. We love F1 Academy. We review them just like we review Formula One. So make sure you watch it because we will be reviewing both. Again, I think you said you said Dorian. I said Maya. We're going to see how it goes down.
Yeah.
Very excited for that because I do love F1 Academy.
Yeah. Gotta support our girls.
We gotta support the girls. I'm so sad that they sold out of their hat. They had a white one. I don't want that one. I wanted the cute little, like, it kind of was like the F1 Academy, like, logo colors, and they sold out, and I was sad. But maybe I'll get one day.
Do they have a sign-up list? You can be like, notify me when you're back in stock.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I even found out they had the hat because I was on the list and I didn't buy it in time. I was like, I'll buy it when I get home. No, I won't.
Waited too late.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So look out for that and we will talk at you in about 2 weeks. Bye.